Today is December 17th.
17th, yes.
And Ashley and I are departing on our journey to South Africa today.
Yes.
We met like a year and 4 months ago and have basically been planning this trip for since then. But like seriously since like January. And I've had long flights, but I've never been on a flight as long as the one that we're gonna be on. So thankfully I'll have Ashley by my side and we're gonna leave.
Ready.
Flew to Atlanta. That was a really short and easy flight, and we had a couple drinks in the Atlanta airport during our layover.
So update, they're on the boarding gate. We have had 2 American meals.
Yes, we had 2 meals and we really felt them, and then we went to the bathroom.
And we still felt them. And now we're sitting in the floor by the trash can, waiting to get on the 14-hour flight to Johannesburg.
We're so excited.
Yay! So excited!
See you from the future a few months later as I'm finally editing this video to share our tragic tale, because on the flight, on this long flight, a couple hours in, we had watched Interstellar, taken a sleeping pill, gone to sleep, smooth sailing. I woke up super nauseous, took a sip of water, and then just vomited all over myself and all over Ashley because I was strapped in and there was a stranger on my right. He had the window seat and then Ashley had the aisle seat. So there was nowhere for it to go. It was literally, I woke up, took a sip of water, and uncontrollable. It came out. And luckily we both had changes of clothes. Also, luckily Ashley travels with wet ones always. That was advice from her mom, so now I'm gonna be doing that too. And yeah, we kind of got decently cleaned up, got to change clothes. Ashley also became ill. And then the rest of the flight was kind of gross. We both smelled like vomit and didn't feel amazing, but it could have been worse. And now this really puts things into perspective for future flights, I have to say. We do think that we both got food poisoning earlier that day. Because we got sick at the same time. It was violently ill, and we had eaten the same meal a few hours before at the same time, so we think it was food poisoning. And then when we got to Joburg, Ashley's dad and his girlfriend came to pick us up, and we stayed in the Palazzo Hotel, I believe, for a night. We had a drink with her dad and his girlfriend and dinner. Told them all about our saga. We showered and went to sleep. It was so nice to be fully clean and like laying like horizontally, and like I had the vomit fully out of my hair. And in the morning when we got up, we walked around the grounds of the hotel and got breakfast. Just the 2 of us, because Ashley's dad and his girlfriend and Ashley's brother were all staying at her grandma's house. So they didn't come meet us for breakfast, they did their own thing. So Ash and I just got to walk around and have breakfast together. It was really a great breakfast. I think I started crying during that breakfast because it was so good. And the coffee was great. So I was just really happy. I love breakfast. And then we got picked up by Ashley's family, and we drove a couple hours to I think, Limpopo, where Ashley's family has sort of like a wildlife reserve out in the bush, like acres and acres of land with some houses on it for them to stay in. And they didn't have power for the first day and a half or like 2 days, I don't remember. So there was no Wi-Fi or electricity. So it was so peaceful there. It was rainy, and we dealt with our clothes. That was one of the first things we did, was soak our soiled stuff in like a plastic tub. And then later, when the electricity came back, we were able to put it into the washing machine. And we would take drives, game drives, to look at the animals that live on their farm. And it was breathtakingly beautiful and so peaceful and restorative.
First of all, the length of his horn.
Okay.
The sweep needs to be perfect. Let's have to look for the private part.
The pee-pee.
The pee-pee. A video, it's okay. That's amazing. They do blend in more than I...
Kan ik zo rijden?
I love him. He's beautiful. You see the difference, Mom?
Mm-hmm.
If you wound them when you shoot, will they come for you and will they... There's little fury in the world than this. A nice picture.
That is nice. We were still really like jet lagged. We would wake up at like 4:30 and like just read until the sunrise. And they had like a home gym set up there, so we would go work out in there and shower and like have coffee and food. We did a lot of grilling in South Africa. That's called a braai, which I learned. So we would do some braaiing. I don't know if that's the right way to say that. And it was delicious. And at one point we got to use their wood-fired hot tub, which was lovely. And yeah, I just did a lot of reading and like a little working out, a little yoga on the deck, sketching. I drew some of the animals that we saw and journaling. It was so nice.
But the voices were out.
Yeah, for sure.
And then after being there, I think for 3 days, we drove back to Joburg and flew to Cape Town, which is where we spent the rest of the holidays and the rest of our trip in South Africa.